Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel again. I hope you guys have been living a happy and fit lifestyle as always. So I'm going to give you a little brief about this video, even though आपने thumbnail देखा होगा, आपने title भी पढ़ा होगा, but I didn't clearly mention that what is it exactly going to be about. So lately I've been seeing a few posts where girls have called out certain organizations about how they charge the grooming fee or they charge money through some other aspect which not everyone can afford, and I have had certain experiences with certain organizations also. So I'm here to call out because I don't feel that it's completely a fair system, and today we are going to talk about it in detail. So before we move forward, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and let's get started with this one. So recently I saw a few posts where there were a few girls calling out the Miss Divine Beauty pageant, where the organization charges a very minimal registration fee which was of around 1,000 rupee, and the organization claims that there are no grooming charges as such, but they have introduced a new voting system, and whosoever has the most amount of votes wins, I think, a particular subtitle. um I've had a similar experience with Miss Grand India. Like I have mentioned this in one of my previous videos, that there was no fees which was told to us initially, but eventually I found out that there was a voting system. So it was, in my case, it was 50 rupees per vote, and I don't know for the other pageant. As much as I remember, what I saw was there was 95 rupees for 10 votes, and you can pay, like, you can give n number of votes to your favorite candidate. So, firstly, I feel that it is important to build a strong public image, but at the same time, I saw that within a span of 2 days, there were girls who crossed 3,000, 4,000 votes. And those girls, surprisingly, at that point, didn't have a huge Instagram community. Like it was around 2 to 3K followers that they had, which there's nothing wrong with it, obviously. Because, uh, yeah, when you go for pageant, there is it is not a competition of followers or who already has a strong public image. Obviously, you build it gradually by constantly showing up. But why I mention this, because the reason is that when you have a huge community of like 1 million followers, 100K followers, 500K followers, तब एक बार को हो सकता है कि अगर आप स्टोरी या पोस्ट डालो आस्किंग योर ऑडियंस टू वोट फॉर यू, तब आपके वोट्स उतने जा सकते हैं बिकॉज यू हैव अ ह्यूज कम्युनिटी एंड पीपल वुड वोट फॉर यू. बट जब आपका इतना बड़ा इंस्टाग्राम लाइक फिगर नहीं है फॉलोअर्स का, आई डोंट थिंक सो. तब आपके लिए, अगर आपके 3,000 फॉलोअर्स है, तो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपके 3,000 फॉलोअर्स आपको एक एक वोट देंगे. And also there was a condition that there are n number of votes that a certain person can, shower on you. So I remember that when I saw girls having 3,000 votes, having 5,000 votes, I know that there are, there is more than a lakh being spent on that vote. Like if it is 50 rupees per vote and a person has 5,000 votes, you can calculate how much the total amount is. So I feel that this was not completely a fair system because, first of all, I get it that it is a subtitle, but for a subtitle also, uh, if a person is paying a certain amount to get that subtitle, that is also an unfair means. I think it was the People's Choice or the multimedia kind of subtitle, which every pageant has. And in Miss Universe India, I had a similar subtitle, but there the votes were decided based on the amount of Instagram engagement in the forms of likes, comments, and shares that we could get on a particular post that the organization's page had invited us to be a collaborator on, but not by paying through their website and stuff. So एक पहली चीज तो ये होती है that if even if it is a subtitle, uh, there's a person who can pay with like a huge amount to win that subtitle if their family can afford amount in lakhs to pay for votes. Secondly, I feel that obviously the international pageant of that organization also has the same criteria. So if you are seeing a particular girl who is not having like a huge amount of votes, there will be a doubt that will strike your head that, how will she compete in international pageant when this similar kind of a situation will arise over there. Maybe अगर आप टाइटल जीत जाओ तो आपकी एक इंस्टाग्राम पे काफ़ी फॉलोअर्स बढ़ जाते हैं, यू डू बिल्ड अ स्ट्रॉन्ग पब्लिक इमेज देन. But I remember that I was like constantly reminded, and also the other girls, to constantly keep increasing your votes. I remember very clearly that talent manager stated that, Sushmita, at least aim for 100 votes a day. So 100 votes a day means I have to spend 5,000 rupees per day. Obviously, I love the audience that is watching me. I love my followers. I love the people who are engaging with my reels. But at the same time, I had just posted a story. If they are not willing to pay an amount to make me win the contest, I don't expect them, like they are obviously my followers. I have built a like strong community with them. But अगर आपके बहुत ज़्यादा भी following है तो all of them are not going to pay for you. All of them will think twice कि why should I pay for you? It's your pageant, it's your journey. सो सेकेंडली, अगर आप वो सब कॉन्टेस्ट नहीं जीतते हो, आपके लाइक भले ही आप जीतते नहीं हो पर आपके उतने वोट्स नहीं हो पाए जितने बाकी लड़कियों के थे, मे बी यू डोंट इवन रीच टॉप 10 ऑफ दैट सब टाइटल, तब भी लाइक अगर आपके जैसे 30-40 ही वोट्स हुए हैं एंड देयर आर गर्ल्स हु हैव क्रॉस्ड 5,000-6,000 मार्क, तब भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के विजन में एक इमेज आपकी बन जाएगी दैट you didn't work for the title enough. And there were constant reminders given, and it was clear that, the money is going to the organization, obviously. But I feel that it is not at all a fair way, even if it is for a subtitle. मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ कि आपने अगर वो subtitle जीत लिया तो आप contest भी जीत जाओगे. But I don't feel that even if it is for a subtitle, there should be a certain amount that needs to be paid. And secondly, वो एक ऐसा subtitle है, at least for Miss Grand India, because I was a part of it, so I know. I don't know for the Miss Divine Beauty, that if you had won that subtitle, you will get a spot in top 10. So it is literally like if you are from a rich family, you can literally buy that spot for yourself. So I really feel that it was unfair, because I remember I had like there were a lot of my friends who are voting, my family was voting for me, but मुझे पता था कि मैं नहीं इन्वेस्ट कर सकती हूँ इतना अमाउंट कि मतलब मैं सीधा लाइक 1,000-2,000 मार्क क्रॉस कर जाऊँ. अगर मैं क्रॉस कर भी गई तो आई थिंक इट वुड बी अ लिमिटेड अमाउंट दैट आई कैन इन्वेस्ट, बिकॉज मतलब ऐसा हो सकता है दैट a person who is from a family जिनको नहीं फर्क पड़ता है if they are spending lakhs on you, they will spend n number of like they will pay for n number of votes for you. So you literally can't compete from that. And secondly, मुझे ये लगता है कि अगर ऐसा कोई सिस्टम होने वाला है, then और votes इतने important है for you to be there in a pageant, then the organization should inform you beforehand. तो मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ था लास्ट वीडियो में, जब मैंने जिसमें काफ़ी अच्छा मेरा एंगेजमेंट किया था. थैंक यू सो मच टू यू ऑल व्हेन आई मेंशन दैट आई हैड अप्लाइड फॉर मिस ग्रैंड इंडिया बट आई स्टेप्ड अवे. तो उसमें काफ़ी लोग कमेंट्स आए थे कि बट अगर आपका देयर इज अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दैट यू साइन दैट यू नो कांट स्टेप अवे फ्रॉम द pageant till the grand finale happens, you can't compete for any India pageant till the finale and all of that stuff. और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था विच वॉज बाइंडिंग फॉर अस, बट मैंने मेंशन किया था कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के पहले में ऐसा कुछ नहीं बताया गया था. सो एक तो ये चीज़ हुई थी, द व्हेन रेचल्स वीडियो केम आउट, द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डिड गिव अ फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी टू द कंटेस्टेंट्स कि नेक्स्ट डे तक जिसको भी बैकआउट करना है वो कर सकते हैं टिल 5 PM, एवरीवन हैज़ टू इन्फॉर्म. बट उससे पहले ये हुआ था दैट एक 20,000 फीस और थी जो हमें देनी थी फॉर द मेंटेनेंस ऑफ द फिनाले गाउन एंड द कॉस्ट्यूम्स दैट वी वर सपोज टू बी प्रोवाइडेड बाय द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, विच वॉज नॉट अ ह्यूज अमाउंट टू पे, बट मुझे प्रॉब्लम इस चीज़ से हुई थी कि आपने पहले क्यों नहीं बताया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन होने से पहले. देयर वॉज नो क्लॉज एज सच mentioned in the contract that we need to pay this amount to the organization, so I was not bound to pay that amount, so I could refuse that I won't pay that amount. And obviously if I politely say to the organization that this is not something that I can afford, then the organization will say that okay, if you want to go you're free to go, if you can't pay. तो ये सिचुएशन हुई थी मेरे साथ. So if you want to believe that the organization removed me, if you want to believe that I stepped away, it's up to you, but I had texted it, I'm not going to pay that amount. तो ऐसा हुआ था. So I literally feel कि अगर organization, like the pageant organizations are also running a business, so they need to make money for themselves, और उसमें कोई भी गलत बात नहीं है. But the red flag comes in when you don't inform the pageant contestants कि आपको पहले से ही इतना इतना अमाउंट पे करना है. लाइक आई थिंक वोटिंग सिस्टम भी ऐसा होना चाहिए, यू शुड इन्फॉर्म द गर्ल्स दैट यू नो देयर विल बी अ सबटाइटल एंड दिस विल बी द अमाउंट दैट यू नो फॉर वोट्स. So if you want, make up your mind that if you are ready to spend this much of amount in the pageant, only then compete for it. एटलीस्ट अगर आप फाइनलिस्ट सेलेक्ट हो गए हो तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करने से पहले द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन शुड टेल यू दिस. सो आई ट्रूली फील दैट इफ यू आर देयर फॉर अ पैजेंट, पहले तो रीड द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वेरी केयरफुली. आई रिमेंबर व्हेन आई वेंट फॉर लीवा मिस रीवा, और मैंने नोटिस किया है जब मैं मिस यूनिवर्स इंडिया के लिए भी गई थी. एक तो मिस रीवा के और मिस इंडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, देयर इज अ ह्यूज कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. आई मीन इट्स लिटरली बंडल ऑफ पेजेस, और हमें एक दिन पहले ही मिला था. बट माई मॉम वॉज लाइक the one who said that okay, I'm going to read it out completely, you know, take care of yourself, get your hair done, get your sleep in place. But and I'm not saying कि उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में कुछ ऐसा था दैट यू नो यू कांट यू हैव टू पे दिस अमाउंट. मैं बस बता रही हूँ कि काफ़ी बार ऐसा होता है कि देयर आर गर्ल्स हु आई हैव सीन डोंट रीड द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिकॉज दे फील लाइक कि अब मैं फाइनलिस्ट सेलेक्ट हो गई हूँ, सो वाई विल आई not want to be in the pageant, why will I not want an agency to sign me up. बट कोई भी एजेंसी, आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस, दैट कितनी भी बड़ी एजेंसी हो, कितनी भी बड़ी एजेंसी हो, नो मैटर हाउ big of an offer do you get, always read the contract thoroughly. I mean, don't trust blindly anyone in this industry, that you don't feel the importance to read the contract. When it comes to business, everyone is looking forward to make their profit. क्योंकि मैंने ये देखा था that when I went for Liva Miss Diva, when I went for Miss Universe India, आपके पास नहीं होता है बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम कि आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पढ़ो. एंड आई नो इट इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट, स्पेशली विद कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स which there are when there are a lot of pages, but it is a very important aspect, because when you sign that contract you are going to be under them. And I remember कि मैंने contract clearly पढ़ा था when I was in the Miss Grand India pageant. That's how I knew that I could say no to paying this amount, because I was not bound to pay any amount. अगर मुझे पता होता तो मुझे surprise भी नहीं होता. So इसके लिए यही है that if you are not under a contract, you're not bound to pay any amount. And please do read the contract terms and conditions when you enter a pageant clearly, so that you don't, like, you're not falling prey to, or you're not bound to pay any amount which you cannot afford. I hope that you found it informative, and as soon as possible I'll try to be back with some more interesting stuff. And secondly, I would also like to say that I'm not in the most you know, groomed kind of a way. I'm just wearing a normal top जो मैं घर पे पहनती हूँ. I have just combed my hair. I'm not wearing any accessories. But the thing is that I have a flight tonight. I have to leave for Pune. But I still wanted to show up. So please do give me a good engagement on this video. And yeah, this is it for today. If you have any other queries, or if you want me to make any video on any particular topic, then you can let me know in the comments. And take good care of yourself and stay happy.